Power Platform Premium Connectors versus Standard, a Cost Decision Guide. Power Platform Premium Connectors versus Standard, a Cost Decision Guide. That's what we're tackling today. If you've been wondering about Power Platform Premium Connectors, stick around. Let's talk about next up. What are Power Platform Premium Connectors? Power Platform Connectors are pre-built integration points that let Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Pages communicate with external services. Microsoft classifies every connector into one of two tiers, Standard or Premium. Standard connectors work with any Microsoft 365 or Office 365 subscription at no additional cost. SharePoint, Outlook, Teams, Excel Online, OneDrive, and Planner all fall here. If your automation stays entirely inside the Microsoft 365 ecosystem, you may never need anything beyond this tier. Premium connectors require either a Power Apps per app plan, a Power Apps per user plan, or a Power Automate premium plan. This tier includes Dataverse, SQL Server, Salesforce, ServiceNow, SAP, DocuSign, the HTTP connector, and hundreds more enterprise integrations. Now, let's talk about standard versus premium connectors, a side-by-side comparison. The table below covers the most decision-relevant differences for organizations evaluating their options. Microsoft's Power Platform Licensing FAQ provides current pricing and any enterprise agreement variations that may apply to your organization. Next up, now, when do you need Power Platform Premium Connectors? Power Platform Premium Connectors become necessary the moment your workflow or app needs to touch data or systems outside the Microsoft 365 boundary. That is the short answer, but the business reality is more nuanced. These are the use cases where standard connectors simply cannot get the job done. Not every project needs premium. Teams that automate purely within Microsoft 365 can build genuinely useful solutions at no extra licensing cost. Now, next up, how the licensing math actually works. Getting the cost calculation wrong at the scoping stage is the most expensive mistake we see in Power Apps development services engagements. Here is the formula you need. Microsoft offers two primary paths for premium access. Per app plan, each user gets access to one specific app. 3 apps cost $15/user/month. This works well when most users only touch one or two solutions regularly. Next up, moving on to how Power Platform Governance controls connector costs. Power Platform Governance prevents shadow IT through DLP policies, environment strategies, and approval workflows. Without governance, citizen developers build apps independently, connect premium connectors without a matching license plan, and create data silos that compliance teams later have to untangle. Data loss prevention policies in Power Platform let admins group connectors into 3 buckets: business, non-business, and blocked. Connectors in different buckets cannot be combined in the same flow or app. This gives your team 2 levers for cost control. Organizations managing Power Platform ALM across multiple environments need connector policies that carry through consistently from development to production, or premium connectors can slip into flows that were never budgeted for them. Our Power Platform Governance Framework Guide covers the 6 pillars of DLP configuration in detail, including environment tiering and connector policies for enterprise teams. Now, let's talk about Power Apps Canvas versus model-driven app and your connector decision. The Power Apps Canvas versus model-driven choice directly affects which connectors you need and what the total licensing cost looks like. Canvas apps connect to virtually any data source, standard or premium, giving you layout flexibility and a wider connector range. If you connect to 3 premium sources, each session still requires premium licensing, but you choose exactly which connectors to include. Model-driven apps are built exclusively on Dataverse. Because Dataverse is a premium connector, every model-driven app user needs a Power Apps per user or per app license with no exceptions. That said, model-driven apps deliver richer out-of-the-box capabilities, relationship management, business rules, audit logs, and role-based security that Canvas apps require custom code to replicate. Let's talk about next up, what a Power Platform development company actually does with this decision. When we scope a Power Platform project, connector analysis happens in the first conversation, not as an afterthought in development. A Power Platform Center of Excellence maps every active connector to a license, flags premium connector usage without a matching paid plan, and gives the IT team visibility before Microsoft audits surface problems. We have seen organizations running 40 or more premium flows on standard licenses, an exposure that becomes a procurement and compliance issue quickly. Dataverse Consulting adds another layer here. When clients want to centralize business data in Dataverse rather than scattered SharePoint lists, the licensing conversation has to happen at the architecture stage. You cannot retroactively issue per-user plans for 300 users after an app is live and adoption has already spread. Let's talk about next up, conclusion. Power Platform Premium connectors are not just a technical classification. They are a budget decision that shapes every app, flow, and portal your team builds on the platform. Stay inside Microsoft 365 tools and standard connectors keep costs at zero. Connect to databases, CRMs, ERPs, or custom APIs and the premium tier kicks in, with licensing that adds up fast across a mid-market user base. The smart approach is to audit your planned connectors before any significant build, model the per app versus per user cost for your actual user count, and pair that analysis with solid Power Platform governance so citizen developer programs do not create surprise licensing exposure. A Power Platform Center of Excellence built on Microsoft's COE toolkit gives you the visibility to stay ahead of both cost and compliance. Ready to see what your specific connector mix will cost? Get a Power Platform cost assessment from our team. We map your use cases to the right license tier, flag governance gaps, and give you a number you can budget against before the first line of code is written.